is chaos. Success is completely arbitrary, and confidence is everything. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shivani, and I'm not a startup founder. I haven't raised $1 million in fundings, and I'm most definitely not here to tell you how to be an entrepreneur. However, I am here to talk about something a little less mainstream. So let's start at the very beginning, shall we? Quick heads up before I start. I love movies. I'm absolutely crazy about those over-the-top, larger-than-life Bollywood dramas. And hence my talk today might be brimming with quite a few Bollywood references. And in true Bollywood fashion, let's start with the meet cute. How did Shivani and entrepreneurship find each other? Well, back in 2012, I had enrolled into an engineering college for my undergrad. And like most of the engineering students in India, on day one I realized my heart belonged somewhere else. So instead of cribbing about it, I decided to completely immerse myself in all extracurriculars possible. This is when entrepreneurship sort of found me. For an international entrepreneurial course, I teamed up with a bunch of my friends to submit a business idea. And luckily for us, that business idea got funded by our college. That's how C-Cube, choice, convenience and cut price. C-Cube was born. C-Cube was Indore's and probably Madhya Pradesh's first student-run campus company. This was way back in 2014, way before entrepreneurship was the sexy buzzword that it is today. The idea was very simple. We tried bringing convenience to our 2,000 plus student community in the form of college merchandise, class supplies, stationery, amongst other things. You see, the idea doesn't have to be earth-shattering. It just has to solve a real problem. And then it all trickles down to execution. At the age of 19, my friend, business partner, Mayuri and I, we bootstrapped, optimized, negotiated, became overnight operations and supply chain experts. All fancy words that I was going to learn 6 years later at a B school. You see, we didn't care if we failed. After all, we were having the time of our lives, learning lessons that no book could teach us. And as young girls coming from middle-class families, I cannot put in words how empowering that experience was. Interestingly, we broke even in 6 months. And we ran that company for close to 3 years till we graduated, which is when we decided to pass it on to our upcoming batches as a learning ecosystem. So that's pretty much when entrepreneurship and I went our own ways. So my love affair with entrepreneurship was a rather brief one. However, picture abhi baki hai mere dost, because this is where it gets interesting. I didn't realize how this was a once in a lifetime opportunity that would define my entire life going forward. I was changed forever. With all the learnings I had running this business every single day, I found the courage to become a public relations consultant despite graduating as a software engineer. I secured the admit from one of the most prestigious business school of India despite not having any fancy names on my resume. And it also got me the opportunity to work in a strategic founder's office role at a leading startup. Well, I know the only achievement any of you is focusing on right now is me meeting Ranbir Kapoor. But anyway, back to discussing what really changed. This experience, it made me entrepreneurial. My strong belief is that entrepreneurship is not just about VC presentations, raising money, LinkedIn articles, building a unicorn. No. I'm convinced that entrepreneurship is a lifestyle, not a profession. That being entrepreneurial is a mindset. And that all of us, each and every single one of us present in this room, can benefit from being entrepreneurial. And that brings me to the theme of my talk, entrepreneurship, manifesting the spirit. Or simply put, let's just call them Shivani's 3 commandments of being entrepreneurial every day. Commandment number 1, going beyond self-doubt. Now, whether you talk about the Ariana Huffingtons, the Oprah Winfrey, the Sheryl Sandbergs of the world, or Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, Vani Kola, Falguni Nayyar back home, what do all of them have in common, except of course being absolutely badass entrepreneurs? They all dared to go beyond self-doubt, and they were willing to take a chance on something, on somebody. And the same holds true for any successful entrepreneur you can think of. And so one of the first ways to kindle the entrepreneurial spirit in yourself is to know and believe that you are capable of achieving anything and everything that you set your mind to. Make no mistake, the world will always be there to remind you of 100 reasons why you would fail. And some of them could be very legitimate reasons as well. My point is, there could be 100 reasons why you would fail. But do you not need like one tiny small bit of a reason to succeed? I would know, because I spent 4 years of my undergrad with this itch to do something in the creative domain. And while I did find small little ways of satisfying that itch, I was ready to walk the path that the world had set for me. Long story short, things didn't work out. And that's when I decided to take a chance on this urge I had nurtured forever. I ended up applying to every single public relations company I could find on Google. And the thing is, I was told more times than I can count on my fingers that with a CS degree, no credible media communication experience, and no contacts in Bombay and Delhi, I was only shooting arrows in the dark. But the moment I decided to go beyond self-doubt, the universe started realigning. It's exactly like they say, किसी चीज़ को सच्चे दिल से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात आपको उससे मिलाने की कोशिश में लग जाती है. Well, the कायनात found me somebody who was willing to take a chance on me, on my dreams. And I got the most amazing opportunity to work on some of the coolest brands in the country, meet some really interesting people. And this photo kind of sums up the sentiment really beautifully, because this was my literal leap of faith into the unknown of the highest bungee bridge in the world, which was the Blue Kranz Bridge in South Africa, while I was there on an assignment for South African tourism. Now guys, I am 100% sure I am not the only one with a story like this. As you step outside these walls and into the world, you will realize for yourself that the only thing limiting you is, well, you. So please go beyond self-doubt, take a chance and say yes to new beautiful experiences. Commandment number 2, be ziddi. Okay, quick show of hands. How many of you here have watched the movie Gully Boy? Great, almost everybody. I have watched it like 23 times at least. It is my most favorite Hindi movie of recent times. And not just because of the refreshing narrative or brilliant acting, but because this movie has some of the most simple yet powerful scenes. One of which has really stayed with me. There's this one scene where Murad, played by Ranveer Singh, is being berated by his father for thinking that the world would accept a nobody like him and his big dreams, to which Murad very poignantly says, "Koi aur batayega mere ko main kaun hai?" He goes on to make an iconic statement which goes something like, "नहीं बदलता मैं अपना सपना अपनी सच्चाई से मेल खाने के लिए, मैं अपनी सच्चाई बदलेगा जो मेरे सपने से मेल खाए." Such a powerful statement. Gave me goosebumps. He refuses to change his dreams to fit his reality. He fearlessly declares, "I'll change my reality to meet my dreams." And that's the spirit we all need to fan in ourselves to be more entrepreneurial. We have to be relentless. We have to be ziddi, just like Murad was. You know, what really moved me in these scenes was the fact that they hinted towards our certain, rather unquestioned judgment about things, circumstances, life, people in general, because that is the populist view. They both spoke of worldly labels. But guys, be ziddi for your dreams, be ziddi for what you believe in. No matter how much life bogs you down, no matter how many ever curveballs life throws your way, keep fighting. Because most times, success ends up finding those who simply continue to persist. And while we're on the topic of worldly labels, another tweet comes to my mind that I saw rather recently. This is a tweet by Jeff Bezos where he is referring to a 1999 article about him that mocked his vision for Amazon. We all can see for ourselves how that one panned out. Commandment number 3, embrace failures. Now guys, this is probably going to be the most embarrassing and most difficult for me to talk about, so please bear with me. It was a regular Saturday morning in 2001. I had just boarded the 15-number bus from my stop to school when my cousin, I was in second standard, when my cousin, 1 year younger to me, asked me if I was ready. Confused, I asked, ready for what? To which she says, for the final of your inter-house poetry recital competition. The ground beneath my feet shook. Color drained my face. And my cousin too looked like he was staring death in the face because he quickly went on to explain that it was announced in the Monday assembly that the final was scheduled for Saturday. You see, that was the only time possibly in the history of this school that dedicated prep and mock practices were not conducted with a student representing the house in the final round. I was selected out of an intra-house audition where I had recited some poem about 4 monkeys, but that was 2 months ago, and I didn't remember a word of it. After a few moments of panic, all I could think about was not wanting to go on that stage without having a word to say. So I gathered some courage, asked my cousin to lend me his first standard English textbook, and I memorized the first poem I could find in that 20 minutes bus journey. The poem was called Queen of Hearts, She Baked Some Tarts. Even saying the words out loud even now is making me really queasy. But 1 hour later, I went up to the stage, and as all my fellow participants recited some of the most iconic poems by legendary writers, I went on to recite a nursery rhyme. However, fast forward 5 years. अभी हमें और जलील होना है. So then I was in 6th standard. I had just entered senior school. Eyes full of dreams. I had been tagged to my favorite house, Tagore House. And this time, it was the inter-house extempore competition. I was determined to not repeat any of my previous screw-ups. So I practiced for weeks with mom, dad, cousins, friends, senior, teachers, everybody. I tried preparing for everything that could go wrong. And on the D-Day, I was feeling rather confident. I was the last one to go up on the stage, and our vice principal ma'am was the chairperson. So as the penultimate speaker went up to the podium to give her speech, as was the norm, I walked up to the chairperson to pick out my topic. However, when I reached her, she tells me that, sorry Shivani, we don't have any more slips left, and pulls up a bag in front of me and says, whatever you pull out of this bag will be your topic. Now this was a curveball I hadn't prepared for. There were a definite number of participants that everybody was aware of. But the slips mysteriously ran out for the last participant. Anyway, I nervously pulled out a crossword puzzle book that had the title I Know, and confused I asked her, what does this mean, ma'am? Is my topic puzzles? To which she says, I don't know, you figure it out. Mind you guys, all this while the clock was ticking. Time flew by. Before I knew it, I was already climbing up the stage. I gave one last glance to the title of the book in my hand, and I decided my topic was going to be I Know. For the next 120 seconds, I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, on that day, on that stage, I spoke about I Know. I spoke about how I knew there were 9 planets in the solar system, well now 8. I spoke about knowing the science behind rainbows and a bunch of other nonsense. Long story short, I know today, trust me, I know that more than anything I embarrassed myself in front of the entire senior school. In front of the entire senior school, and lost my opportunity to convince my house teachers of possibly how good I could be at public speaking. But thankfully, my love for speaking and wanting to use the power of words was more potent than my worry of making a fool of myself ever again. And so I practiced harder. I kept trying. I prepared myself to be more present, to think on my feet, to be ready for anything a future public speaking event could throw my way, or life in general. And I'm insanely proud to say that had that 6-year-old Shivani given up, or had that 12-year-old Shivani let embarrassment deter her from never facing the public again, this Shivani wouldn't have been here today to give her first TEDx talk. I'm insanely proud of the fact that despite being in a fix, both of those Shivanis found the courage to still turn up on the stage. Life today has come a full circle for me. I'd like to believe that I've managed to conquer that one stage that had challenged me the most. And in hindsight, I'm grateful for all the screw-ups, for everything that didn't work out, because that is what made me more confident and more humble than I could have ever been. I am not perfect, and I have zero shame in admitting it. None of us really are, and that's why failure will often find us in all shapes and forms, in all sizes, big and small. But today I know that those failures will make us better, will shape us better. That's pretty much it from my end, folks. Nothing I said today was rocket science. I didn't tell you anything that you didn't already know deep down. This was just my humble attempt to empower that inner voice of yours. So to recap, these are Shivani's 3 commandments of being entrepreneurial every single day. So every day, every time that you go beyond self-doubt, take a chance, say yes to new experiences, every day that you fight for what you believe in, every day that you hustle, innovate, adapt, and every single day that you let your failures teach you rather than break you, you, my friend, you're being entrepreneurial. Thank you so much, and my topic was books.